So maybe I start with the presentation, Igor, and I keep it short and simple.
Yes, and you only tell me next slide, and I will
Yes.
move your slide.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So basically, currently we do have a crisis in the agricultural sector in Africa. It's been widely reported that there is currently a crisis mode, which is not immediately obvious because if you consider that Africa is hosting 60% of the world's arable land, you ask yourself why there's a crisis, but in the same time, you have to consider that Africa is a major importer of food. So let's say around 25% of the region's wheat supplies, for example, are imported. And if you hear wheat, of course, you think immediately of the Ukraine situation that we're currently having that has a huge impact on, let me say, food security and the nutrition status. Let's say the food status in Africa. So there is another food crisis coming up. Everybody's talking about it, from the UN over to the WFP and so on and so forth. We see there's a sharp increase of food and agricultural input prices as we speak currently. Climate change today also shouldn't be forgotten, and climate change is a key driver of migration. Let's not forget about that. So food insecurity, water shortages are among the main reasons why people want to move away from where they are at the moment. Especially young Africans don't see a future in smallholder farming activities and anymore, and tend to migrate to bigger cities and later maybe abroad. That trend is observed since a long while. So the problem that Africa cannot feed itself is not based on a current crisis, but it's more a systemic issue. So you already went to the second slide. Thanks a lot. So let's say we just talked about Africa hosting 60% of the world's arable land, but the yield is very low. So considering that you have this huge opportunity, but the very low yield is a big problem. If you look at the yield across Africa, and I put all nations and countries together, you can say that the yield was only 40% of the worldwide yield in 2020. When I say yield, it's measured as a quantity per unit of land used to grow certain produce. And if you go in certain countries and you drill it down, in Chad, for example, you only had 20% of the yield. And in Niger, it's even below 20%. So considering that agriculture in Africa is the single biggest employer and job creator, over 60% of the population of sub-Saharan Africa people are, working in smallholder farming activities. And 23% of sub-Saharan Africa's GDP comes from agriculture. You see that this is an issue that concerns whole of Africa. According to McKinsey, the potential in Africa to increase productivity yields is 109%. The lack of infrastructure and inadequate storage are some of the biggest. Stay on that slide. I'll tell you when to go to the next slide, Igor. So the biggest issue that you can say is the lack of infrastructure and inadequate storage, but of course low energy access, the connectivity, the bad roads, and so on and so forth, all contribute to this low yield situation. And of course, main contributors such as post-harvest losses only in Africa are estimated to be a $4 billion annually. That could feed 48 million people for 1 year. So especially losses in fruits, vegetables, and root crops. So the most perishable goods, can reach up to 50% because of no adequate storage facilities. Okay, now go to the next slide. So the root cause of course, is the prices. Currently, all prices are rising for food, which accounts for about 40% of consumer spending in Africa. There's higher fuel prices, transport of goods, transport of agricultural produce, increase of fertilizer prices, and so on and so forth have an impact on agriculture. Higher prices will always disproportionately hurt the poor, especially in rural areas where prices are already higher than in urban areas. We talk about the poverty penalty. This has a direct impact on the income and increase of the rate of food insecurity for rural populations way beyond the crisis. Then there is climate change. According to the FAO, there is droughts and missing rains, natural disasters, increasing temperatures that have an impact on the situation of agriculture in Africa. This will especially hurt the most vulnerable smallholder farmers in Africa, as they mostly depend on farming as a main source of income, and often for even self-sustaining agriculture, where they depend on eating what they actually planted over the year. There's lack of access to resources such as technologies, finance, input materials, machineries, and of course there's a certain know-how gap as well. And there is also a lack of investment in the sector due to the lack of density. That might attract more investment into the rural areas. The lack of interest in investing is partly because of it hinders, the infrastructure development. It limits the access for products and services. It widens the poverty trap. It means a severe lack of income opportunities. It means that the people will be continuing to living in an informal shadow economy. There is a certain low quality of life that we can observe, and it again creates this migrationary streams that we have been talking about. If you go to the next slide, we can see that decentralized energy is a key. It's actually a very good opportunity for the development. So we do have SDG 7, which means we have to achieve universal access to energy worldwide, which means especially in such areas it will help a lot, because with energy you can do a lot. But let's say to achieve universal grid access in those areas to 2030, which means connecting 1.1 billion people worldwide, or 600 million in sub-Saharan Africa that still don't have grid. That would cost $17 billion per year, and that's maintenance excluded. So it's pretty obvious that won't happen, and it's pretty clear that decentralized energy is the key, and that means solar. That means in some areas wind, that means hydro energy, that means other energy sources that are widely available.
Thomas, and yes. Sorry to interrupt you, but we have
go ahead.
Yes, so we have to finish.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Basically, there is all kinds of technologies that can run with renewable energies that can increase the yield and reduce the post-harvest losses in Africa. And go to the last slide. This is what the Pulse is all about. And we believe that only by pulling together all these technologies and bringing them into the last mile, which is what we are going to do with all our partners that we already have amassed at that. We are going to start in Rwanda. I believe Titus is also going to talk about agriculture in Rwanda. So I'm very excited to listen to this presentation next. And we believe that it's not single-mindedly only tackling one field, but all technologies pulled together and bring that into the communities is really going to solve the issue. Thank you very much. Handing over and handing back. I'm sorry for being so lengthy.
Yeah, no, Thomas. Very good. Thank you very much. We will invite Titus for the next presentation. Yes. Because the topic, the matter of Titus' presentation is following your topic. Yes, Titus, are you ready to speak? Your presentation is on the screen.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you very much, Dr. Igor, for the introduction. And I thank God that I'm speaking after Mr. Thomas, because he has talked what I would have liked to start introduction. Yeah, I conceived this project as a solution for the food security and nutrition. But again, as the whole world these days, the issue is the climate change, food shortage, etc. After we are coming out of the pandemic. And actually in Rwanda, we are trying to see again how we can go into the production of the vaccines. But again, also the food is the issue. We are still importing food. We had the shortage of energy after the liberation of Rwanda from the wars of the liberation as well as genocide. But again, Rwanda is reconstructing and we are doing all in all fronts. Besides the security, we are doing fronts again on the food. So I conceive that you can see the next slide. Next slide, I have four slides in one. The integrated farm has to consider where we can get real food. We have abundant land. As Thomas said, Africa has the largest, even in Rwanda where we are crowded, still we have some land unutilized. We have a program of land consolidation. People bring land together and you can mechanize. Rwanda started mechanization after so many decades when other countries are far ahead. But again, to catch up, we have to move very fast to catch up the others. We need mechanization to increase the production. We need again also energy, as Thomas said. We have a lot of sun we can harness. Now we have even Kigali, Zilita, and all provinces. But again, we need more power, whether even biogas, even up the nuclear. We hope we'll have it in a net, such that we should be able to have power in all sectors. Next slide, please. Next slide is the power. That's why I say it's the base where we have a lot of the sun all the year round. We can be able to use. Next, we can use the power to is very essential for the production, for the processing, for the storage, for the even the lighting as well as the cooking. Rather than again using the wood and so forth and charcoal, and then you end with the extra carbon dioxide, with the pollution and again with destruction of our environment. So the clean energy is the green energy where we can use as explore and again also utilize in our homes and live clean. Next, please. Next slide.
I don't know why. Moment. I don't know what is it. Sorry, just a moment.
Okay, the next slide is the actual. I wanted to go into the production of the protein. We have a lot of water, we have a lot of land, we have the sun, so we can harness the energy, utilize the energy in circulating the food nutrients for we rear the fish in the greenhouse. The next slide. That's where we can have intensive fish production in the greenhouses, where we can circulate the feeds, our nutrients, and again also where the water waste from the fish production grown, control temperatures, we can use that wastewater into irrigating the again hydroponics, such that we can produce other essential as well as irrigation of the fruits and vegetables. Next slide. We can again also do this again, intensive fish production, all the cycle from the fish fingerings to the processing and the package and the storage and even the transportation using the solar energy harnessed, such that again also the water waste from the land ponds again is recirculated into the irrigation, and again also the waste of the fish again also is the increase the soil, the content, the nutrients for the land, where we can again feed the crops grown. And again, the crops grown again can be processed, packaged, and again also sold around as well as beside the meat from the fish. because fish raising, we have land, the lake production, but again also due to the various winds coming and so forth, and again the water weeds, they choke the fish grown in the lake in the floating stages, and again they end up having loss of a lot of fish. So if you have on land and again you control the water, you control the flow, then you can be able to.
Arno, please unmute.
Na, Entschuldigung.
Next slide.
Ich bin gerade in einer Konferenz. Ja, später mal an.
Intensive production of the fish in the land across all the cycles from the fingerings to the mature fish. Next slide, please.
Just a moment.
Yeah, the next, I wanted to show that the complete line of value chain of the production can be carried out all the year round. Again, the water used can be used in irrigation. We're having the vision of growing the only two types, the tilapia and the catfish, which you can be able to manage. And again, also can be able to market, domestic market, as well as in our neighboring countries, Burundi, DRC, Uganda, and Tanzania. And again, also the project can be designed and operated according to internationally accepted environmental standards. Even the package, the norms, the standard norms will be honored. The project again be designed with the central fish farm, enabling the training of local personnel, support the development with the satellite fish farm, such that again we impact the local communities. They are not going to be the giant. No, we want to bring in the other people again. We can process their own and again we sell. Rather than bring the fish from China or this and that, we can be able to grow it into Rwanda, however, in the small space. Then again also sell within and sell around. And so doing again, we create employment and again the food. Next slide. Yeah, the next slide again, I didn't want to forget about the major crops. The major crops like maize, like corn or beans or soya beans, even the sunflower. All these are grown around. We can again also mechanize as well as process, package, and again also even extrude. We can get fortification of different and so forth, such that again we get, rather than bring the food from other places, we do it and we sell, and again so that we get more revenue. And that's what the vision of we are trying to see how the country can be transformed. And we go to the next economy level. Yeah, this is another major slide. Again, I want to show that the vast energy can be harnessed and irrigate vast land. As Thomas said, that the vast land utilized, agriculture sector loses more than 40% of the harvest, the post-harvest. From the harvest, we know weeding, winnowing, drying, etc. Then again, also, beside again, there is even infestation in the stage of the processing up post-harvest, where we get the aflatoxin. That's why I tell you, when you mechanize, like corn, you can harvest at the right time, rather than the other rains may find the corn in the field before, and again you get to stock and so forth. Again, the end you lose what you have grown under all the stages of production. Like sunflower, again, is an essential crop where you can get the protein, get the oil, and get the cake, which is used again for the feeding the poultry, feeding the pig, the pork, and again also even you get the oil and so forth.
Titus,
Again,
thank you. Titus, please finish. Thank you.
I want to wind up there. We want to substitute to see how we can get trained people, use the machine rather than use people to till the land, or use the machine to harvest rather than use the people. And you can see that group of corn harvested can be wasted during the processing. That's why we lose more than 40 to 50% in post-harvest. Next slide. The market, there is market. Next slide. Save the time. We want to see that the last slide is the most important. We will affect the local communities. We will give benefits to Rwanda, to GDP, to the value of the food, and we give again the food security, poverty, and economic stability. Next slide. Yeah, the next slide is my concluding. As Thomas said, we can reduce poverty through SDG 1, combat the food scarcity, nutrition, and ending hunger, which again is second SDGs. The third, we can educate, train the people in the green energy and climate changes. We have now a Ministry of Hazard. There is no more people dying every season right now. We used to bury so many thousands. Bridges gone, people can't move and so forth. Now, but we can achieve, again, also train the women to achieve the gender equality, SDG 5. Then we promote and assess the affordable energy, modern clean energy to the people, SDG 7. So I feel that with this, you are coming in, will contribute. I feel that the EU Tech Chamber really came at the right time as the MNP have got at different levels, different groups. And I feel that our project will go through and I will produce, I can team up with anybody coming up. Right, I've identified fisheries, identified manufacturing, identified energy, identified mechanization. Even you can get the tractors.
Thank you very much.
As well as transport with the electrical vehicles. We are now having electrical vehicles in the country. And the charging station even up country.
Sorry,
so
sorry.
We can use the clean energy throughout the world.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much for your wonderful and very beautiful, with very good slides presentation. We will organize a networking and working group meeting next week, and we are inviting our distinguished speakers to discuss more about the topics, to bring people together based on your presentations today. So we have next week possibility to discuss it more. Yes, thank you very much. And now we will invite Mr. Ikechi Agbugba. Ikechi, I have given you now presentator's rights. Can you manage your presentation now? Can you show it now? Oh.
Hello.
Hello. Can you manage your presentation?
Yes, I am trying to share it now. Have you seen it now?
Dr. Ikechi Agbugba is a well-known expert in agricultural sector. She is in Great Britain, and he is a university professor who is acting on these agriculture fields. Ikechi, I can suggest that I show it.
Well, I'm already sharing it now.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Can you see that?
No. I don't have it. Yes, I have it. Sorry. And now I will show it. It's the best and the easiest way.
I'm already sharing it.
Okay. So we are listening to you with great interest, Dr. Ikechi.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, my name is Ikechi Agbugba, and the topic before us is green energy and the agriculture sector, prospects and opportunities for Africa. Before I go into this, I have already been introduced. Thank you very much, Dr. Igo, Mr. Marcos, and the entire EU Tech Chamber, and also my fellow panelists. I also wish to recognize my partner, Dr. Beatrice Bishop, who is here, and she's German,
and we have been working together on the PETS program. She actually developed a content which is very interesting for Africa, and it's called PETS. PETS is an acronym that stands for Policy, Economy, Technology, and Society. So because of time, we already know that I am working with Dr. Beatrice, and we are working with the Kavala International University to ensure that smallholder farmers in Africa get their capacity built. And I was very happy to hear my fellow panelists from Botswana or Rwanda present his slides. And I was very happy also because of the conference we are planning at Kigali in October and in March of next year. Anyway, Sustainable Energy Fund for Africa, accelerating the energy transition in Africa. It's, there is room. We already know that there is room for it. And is green energy renewable? Yes, of course, green energy can be defined as renewable energy that is produced with less pollution than fossil fuels. Although not all renewable energy is green energy, it's allowed to refer to it as a subset of renewable energy. So although biomass is a renewable energy source, it is not considered as green energy. So we all know about this. And the energy solutions, you can see a pictorial representation, diagrams here that typifies how these solutions can work. And then we can see greenhouse gas emissions as well by economic sector. And we can see how they are partitioned from building, transport, industry, agriculture, forestry, land use. And we can see that it's about 24% for agriculture, and electricity and heat production, 25%. And then other energy, which is a 9.6. That's where renewable energy, green energy is also found. So let's look at food production in Africa, keeping pace with the global demand. Since the year 2000, the average economic growth in sub-Saharan Africa has frequently outpaced the rest of the world. According to the IMF, the total GDP output for sub-Saharan Africa was estimated to 2.1 trillion USD in 2022. And so now we are projecting that in 2026, this forecast will rise to 2.9 trillion. So you can see that Africa's vast untapped natural resources will be key to ensuring that food production keeps pace with global demand. So over 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land lies in the regions that's in Africa's savanna, and will play a key role in feeding the world. And yes, we can see that renewable energy in Africa is it's not something that is abstract. It's something that will definitely happen. When you see the diagram, you can see the distribution of how it can be shared in the whole of Africa. We have North Africa. We have the demand also. We have in Central Africa. We have in West Africa. We have in East Africa. We have in the SADC region as well. And this is the current under construction capacity of Africa Renewable Energy Project, and it started last year. And and this is actually prepared by PricewaterhouseCoopers, and we can see that Africa is cashless. So, and green energy is very important for navigating into the next generation. And we can also see the future focusing on Africa with respect to green energy, a macroeconomic view, and looking ahead to 2035. Now, agricultural production system for energy. You can see the diagrammatic representation, which shows the ecosphere, the technosphere, the how renewable resources from nature are translated through non-renewable resources from nature also, and ensuring agricultural production. And as an agroeconomist and as an agribusiness expert and food security professor, I have been involved in a lot of knowledge sharing sessions with respect to how to ensure that Africa's economy gets transformed through the agriculture sector and bioenergy solutions. Assessment of renewable energy. We can see the status, how the challenges, looking at the COVID-19 impacts, opportunities, and also sustainable energy solutions for Africa. You see it at the diagram, and we can see the countries: Burkina Faso, Ghana, Guinea, Egypt, Eswatini, Mauritius, Senegal, Uganda, and even Chad, DRC, Guinea, Ghana, even Nigeria, Niger, Togo, Mali, Kenya, Egypt, and all of that. Now, let's have a look at this publication, Namibia's Renewable Energy Potential, which is underutilized, but this can actually drive train. This was reported by Paulos Mulunga in 2019, just before the COVID. And the last 2 years have been positive strides in the uptake of renewable energy technologies in Namibia. On a macro scale, there has been a number of new solar PV plants coming online as the country tries to win itself. So, and then the next slide, which is on renewable energy technologies, you can see how it increases sustainability, how it can also increase utilization of renewable energy, and then how it also impacts on the social and environmental, social and environmental aspects, technical aspects, economic aspects, and commercialization, and for ensuring commercialization. So the 5 ways energy can be used in agriculture: farm machinery, water management, irrigation, cultivation, and harvesting as well. And then we can see how ways energy can be used in agriculture. We have already stated those claims. From the production system, we can see solar, we can see even the plants, the livestock, the waste products, and we can see how post-harvest energy, because as my colleague has mentioned about post-harvest losses, which have been like losses within the food value chain, even processing and all of that. They are the food losses, and then the food waste, which happens between the retailer and the end user, that's the consumer. And the post-harvest energy use includes energy for food processing, storage, and in transport to markets. Essence of renewable energy said that the use of renewable energy in agriculture might be the key to the creation of a sustainable agriculture sector. Not may, will definitely be. However, poor nations are still having difficulty doing so due to issues including technical and economic ones. So a policy incentivizing renewable energy and green energy application in agriculture is the need of the hour. We can see the diagrams, and then we can also relate it to conventional agriculture and green energy solutions. And then we can see also the relationship between agriculture, climate change, and energy solutions. And of course, this can also help to ameliorate the challenges and those climate changes. We can see pictorial representations of women who are major players in transforming the Africa's economy through the agriculture sector. And of course, energy smart agriculture. We can see them a diagrammatic representation of the clean energy technology, how it flows from environmental information services through potential solutions to environmental problems. And of course, it's interconnected to energy conservation technologies as it breaks out and impacts on renewable energy technologies, and among others. Now, the next slide, which is renewable energy commercialization, global energy transition investment. You can see that renewable energy has more potential than even the electrified heat and also even those other ones. And you can see how cheap it is, even right in around 2022. Promoting renewable energy in agricultural applications. Promoting renewable energy in agricultural applications such as solar, wind, hydro-powered water pumps, greenhouse heating and cooling, solar water heaters, solar dryers for post-harvest processing and lighting technologies might lessen climate change and its effect. So green energy, which is a subset of renewable energy, is further a challenge to implement in Africa. So however, switching from a system based on non-renewable energy to based on agriculture has presented the difficulties. Thank you. Thank you very much for participating.
Hello? Igor?
Sorry. I would like, yes. Just a moment, Kechi. Can you see now the presentation? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I would like to introduce Mr. Arno Bruder, who was responsible in the government of Upper Bavaria. It's at South Germany for the whole beekeeping branch. And Mr. Bruder is also a businessman in this field and was leading an academy for beekeeping in Bavaria. Arno, please, you are welcome for a speech.
Hello, Igor. Hello, everybody. Thanks for the invitation. My goal is to speak about the energy from biogas. In Germany, we had a situation that a lot of the areas are cultivated by corn for biogas, and the problem is that we have a loss of diversity in the areas, especially by the insects. And so our goal was to change some areas for produce biogas from corn to a mixture of flour. And this flour mixture is like corn, but we have a very big win situation for the insects and for the biodiversity. Next. And so we.
Yeah, just a moment. Today it is not so. Yeah, here. Yes.
Yeah. Next. And so we look for partners from the farmers of the other side and electricity power.
Sorry.
Electricity power companies, they produce electricity.
Okay. Next.
Yes. And yeah, this is what our aim was to find the farmers. They change her fields from corn to a mixture of very powerful flowers. It's around a mixture with around 40-50 different flowers. And for this change, we give the farmer 600 euros by hectare every year. And the consumer, they order this bee stream, this bee electricity, have to pay 1 cent more. That's the usual electricity power. Next. Next slide. Back, Igor.
Back. Okay.
Ja, nochmal zurück.
Here.
Back. Yeah. This is the next. Yeah, this one. Okay. We had a mixed flour from Saatenzeller. That's a company. They is involved in seeds. and it's a special biogas mixture. It's called BG70, and we support the farmers. They change her soil, areas from corn to this mixed flowers with 600 euros by hectare in the first year, and in the next year the same. It's a time period around 5 years, and the first project was started with the company Nürtingen. It's a community company. They produce electricity, and the area was the Schwäbische Alb. It's near Stuttgart, in the south of Stuttgart, and there are a lot of marginal soil areas. And in these marginal soil areas, it is interesting to change from corn to mixed flowers. Next. So we promoted this project by internet. Also, it's one point. Then the other one is with a banner. This banner comes to the field and shows the people what we do there. Next. Next. And yeah, that's okay. And the farmers must have a minimum of area of 0.5 hectare that we change to a blossom, a blossom area. And he gets 600 euros by hectare. And in the years they get a win of the electricity income. Next. It's called Bienenstrom. It's bee electricity. Next.
Very interesting. Yeah. Just a moment. Here.
Yeah. And then we collect the money from this electricity, and normally it's for example it's 10,000 euro, and we put out 80% of the income. It's around in this one point is it's 8,000 euro, and then we bring it to the farmers. Yeah. And the farmers get also a certification and online support and promoting for his own businesses. And so we win around more than 60 farmers for this project. And you can look at the website. It's www.bienenstrom.de. Next.
Moment. Yes.
So this is a cooperation contract. You can see position 1 is the hectare. It's 1.5. So the farmer gets 900 euro for this 1.5 hectare with the flowering mixture. Next. And the flowering mixture is have different condition. We had the possibilities and the results is that you have only one seed costs, because you have a period over 5, 6, or 10 years. It's more than 5 years or more. Then we have a big variety in the flowers. We have good soil conditions. Yeah, we have increase of the diversity by insects. Next, we had a lot of results, positive results for this. Next, Igor. This is the composition of the back. Nochmal back. Eine zurück, bitte. This is the composition of the different flowers. They are in the flower mixture. Next.
Yes, yes. We have to finish, Arno.
Okay. So I will suggest this for you. Perhaps we can transfer this in other areas too. And I think it's a very interesting project for the future. Thanks for attention.
Absolutely, thank you very much, Arno. It's I think that we can work further on all these topics next week on our working group. Yes, because it will be yes, yeah, and we will invite all interested attendants of the webinar, and at first our distinguished speakers. Sorry, Ikechi, but I think that we don't have time for some questions now. Yes, just a moment. I will. Well, I would like to, on behalf of European Technology Chamber, I would like to show you now the certificates. Do you see the certificates now or not? No. Just a moment. We are providing certificates for our speakers. These certificates, for example, Mr. Arno Bruder. Do you see it now or not?
No.
No?
Not yet.
Not yet. Why? Why is it so? Okay. I don't know why. Sorry. Just a moment. Now you will see it, I think.
Okay, now I see it.
Yes. Yeah. So each of our speakers today gets for us yes, such a tree certificate that confirms that a tree has been planted in Africa, in Rwanda, by UTech Climate Action Partnership. We have a climate action partnership, and I will send these certificates immediately after the webinar per email. Many thanks for our discussion. Recording is available for our advocates. Don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions, and I will send you a link for the next week for our talk about today's topics. Thank you very much for very interesting presentations and for your attention. Thank you, and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Let us know where the tree is so we can visit it.
Yeah. A German oak.
See you guys.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Hello, Gakwaya.
Hello, Dr. Ikechi.
Where are you from again?
I'm actually from Rwanda, but I was also in Port Harcourt at River State.
Oh, really?
I was there